Hello, this is Cliff Juby from EDAN UK, and what I'm going to show you today is how to get the best out of the EDAN X range of patient monitors. Whether you've bought an X8, 10 or 12, what I'm going to show you today will work with all of those. Equally, if any vet customers are looking at this, whilst I can't comment on probes and cuffs, the operating system will be exactly the same as this monitor, which is the human range X range monitor. When you first turn the machine on, you will be presented with a change password screen. The initial password will be ABC. You will then be asked to change that password, and we would request that you change it to ABCD, so that if it comes into us for repair, we know what the password is and we can start working on the machine quickly for you. So having done all of that, the screen will then come on in non-demo mode, but with this screen configuration, it will show 2 leads of ECG, SpO2 and pleth waveform, and non-invasive blood pressure, numerics and large numbers. If you wish to change the screen for any reason, there are various ways to do this, but I will keep this as short as I can. So if this is not the display you want to see, then press the menu button. Sorry, it's a non-touch screen, this one. Press the round knob and this will bring up a menu for you. And go to System Display and Module Switch. And there you can see that there are a number of parameters that exist on this monitor. If you want to see all of those parameters, then the boxes will be ticked. But if you want to remove parameters from the screen because you don't want to see them on the screen, you can remove them by simply unticking them. So I'll show you there. We'll remove T1. I've already removed T2. We close this window and you will see that temperature will be removed. If you want to remove any other parameters, follow exactly the same process and you'll be able to move those parameters. What will happen if we remove, for argument's sake, I'll use the ECG waveforms. So we go back to System Setup, Module Switch, remove the ECG. We'll now see that we're left with a blank section of the screen that's not being used. So we go back to Menu, this time go to Display Setup, and we reduce the numbers of waveforms from 4 to 3. And then remove the window. You'll now see that we're using the full size of the screen for just 3 parameters rather than 4. If for any time you want to change any alarms, etc., and for this we'll use the NIBP, you highlight the box and it brings up all the alarm setups and how we can set the interval parameters for the NIBP if required. You'll see at the moment measure mode is manual. If I go to auto, we now highlight the interval. So we may want to take the blood pressure every 5 minutes. When we've done that, close the window and you'll see on the screen that we're now showing that we're taking the blood pressure monitor readings every 5 minutes in the top right hand corner. It is important that you take a blood pressure reading initially to start the clock, otherwise it won't take any blood pressure readings. If we want to bring the ECG back onto the screen, we go back to the main menu button, we go to System Display, Module Switch, and we tick ECG. You will see now that the screen has included the ECG, but we need an extra waveform on the machine. So we press the menu button, we go to Display Setup, and we increase the waveforms from 3 to 4. looking at 2 waves of ECG, SpO2 and NIBP. We're currently only showing the numerics for the respiration rate. So if we want to put the respiration rate on the screen, we go to Menu, System Display, Module Switch, remove the respiration figures, and they've gone. If we want to bring them back, we use the same process again. And then we need to increase the numbers of waveforms to accommodate the respiration, so we increase it from 4 to 5. So now we have 2 channels of ECG, pleth, respiration and NIBP. Currently we're using a 5-lead ECG cable, and I can tell that by the fact that we have 2 separate waveforms for the ECG. We have lead 2 and lead 1. If we want to use a 3-lead ECG cable, we highlight the ECG box, we select the electrode type, we change it to 3, and we'll now see that we have 1 channel of ECG, pleth, respiration, NIBP, and we want to use the full screen, so we go to Main Menu, Display Setup, and reduce the numbers of waveforms to 4. That's simply how to use the machine. The buttons along the bottom of the screen are self-explanatory. We have an admissions page, which will enable you to change patients' details and type of patient. In the vet market, there would be different statements there, but from our human point of view, we can change from adult, pediatric to neonatal. We have trend displays, which will give us the trends for various parameters that we can choose. There's graphical and tabular trends. We can review alarms, we can instigate non-invasive blood pressure readings from the screen or from the button along the bottom of the monitor. If there's a black arrow in the last square, press it and there'll be more menus. Most important ones are we can change the screen display. This is the standard screen display we're looking at. If we go to trend screen, we get a 30-minute live trend rather than a historic trend. So what we're seeing here is a 30-minute trend for the ECG heart rate, 30-minute trend for SpO2, respirations and NIBP. Very useful screen if you're just performing short-term procedures. If we carry on, we have oxy-CRG for neonates. We keep moving the screens along, we can go to large font, and then we can look at larger numbers with the waveforms associated to the parameter that would have a waveform. And we have a vital screen, which gives us the 3 major parameters of ECG, NIBP and SpO2, with larger, more normal size waveforms. There is a shortcut to the module switch button, which you've seen me use earlier on. You can turn keyer volumes off, you can increase or decrease the brightness of the screen. We can put the machine into standby, and if we do that, we say yes to that menu, the screen goes blank, we get a time on the screen, so that tells us it's in standby. And if you hit any button, the screen comes back to life immediately. You don't have to wait for it to boot up, essentially. If you are using invasive blood pressures, which we're not with this machine, then you can zero, you can calibrate, etc., etc. you can, when the machine is delivered, there will be a beep for the heart rate beep. You can turn that volume down or off if you want to. There's also a night mode, which dims the screen and reduces the volume of the alarms. And then if there were a printer installed on this machine, you could set up the printer or the recorder. So I'll go back to, whoops, there we go, where the machine comes on. If there are any questions, this has been a very short presentation of the X range of monitors. If there are any questions, you can always contact us on 01604 648 600, or you can look on the website and go to the various screens in the website that give you training on the monitors, and this will be on the EDAN website as a short training video. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.